Okay, howdy. We are going to make some stuffed peppers, vegetarian, no meat, because we're serving these with filet mignon. Howdy, howdy. We're going to make some stuffed peppers. And I sliced them in half, which is a little bit different than slicing off the top. And let's see, I have about what? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 6. These were 6 peppers. I'm going to roast them first for about 10, 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna stuff them with some fun items. Okay, we'll wait to the next step. Okay, here are my nicely roasted peppers. They were sprinkled a little bit with salt and pepper and some olive oil. And we're gonna let those cool down, and I'm gonna stuff them. Put them in the fridge until the guests arrive, to then put them back in the oven for about 15, 20 minutes so all the cheeses can melt. Okie doke. Okay, so let me show you what I'm going to put in these peppers. So I diced up some sweet potato. I am going to put this in the cast iron on the stove just to make this tender before I stuff them. So this was obviously a large sweet potato. I've got some little tomatoes. This is fresh turmeric. I'm gonna dice up that. I did saute the onions. I'm gonna run those to the food processor. Then I have a couple of Granny Smith apples. And of course I'll put in some roasted garlic. I'm gonna put in some avocado and feta cheese and shred some Parmesan. Of course, I have much more mixture that I'm going to use, and then I'll decide how much heat I want. Not everyone at my table will take the same heat, so I have to sort of regulate that. But anyway, yeah. So I'll put that all together, and then the leftovers, except for the cheese part, I'm gonna turn into a marinara. I'll show you how to do that in the next step. Okie doke. And of course, Roxy is there supervising. Okay, I think I'm about ready to stuff. I've got my avocado, some habanero in there. We've got our onion and tomato apple mixture. We've got our black and red beans, feta cheese, and I decided to cut the sweet potato actually because I burned them. So anyway, my mother always says I put too much stuff in there. So I'm going to start stuffing, and I'll show you what they look like. I have no idea what order I'm gonna put them in. Probably, I don't know. Maybe I'll do a variety of orders. Okay. Okay, I didn't order them. I ended up mixing all of the parts together and tossing in the feta cheese in there, crumpling some of that up and stuffing them in, adding a few garlic roasted cloves on the top. So I shall finish. Okay, so I tossed some Parmesan cheese, grated some of that on top of this. And I'm gonna cover this with some aluminum foil, put it in the fridge until we're ready this evening, and I'll pop them in to heat up for about 15, 20 minutes. The cheeses will melt, and there we go. Good job, Roxy. Excellent. Okay, so I had some leftover onion, tomato, apple mix, and I'm gonna add a little bit of roasted garlic to that to make my sauce that we can drench the peppers with. Okay, I'm gonna stir it up and then I'm gonna put it in the crock pot just to simmer on low for a few hours. I decided I'd add just an extra can of diced tomatoes in here to get a little bit more sauce. I could always freeze it if it's too much. So I'm gonna add that to that.